guys. So my friend Evan Fletcher from California via Boston and a million other accents and many writing talents, did the accent challenge earlier, and I decided to do pretty much the same thing. Mostly because I think anyone on Tumblr is going to find my accent funny, um, and I'm in dire need of diversion, things to do at the moment, things to occupy my mind. So here, I guess, we go. Also, in case you're wondering, I don't normally look this grainy. I probably don't normally sound this quiet, but I'm still working out the settings on this particular laptop. So I do always look this much like I'm being consumed by my hair. That's the thing that happens. That's my life. Anyway, so my name is Kirsty Mitchell. That's how you pronounce it. I'm not really bothered how people pronounce my name. I work with an international bunch. I get called Kirsty, Christy. There's one girl who just calls me Chris. I'm fine with it because, like, Kirsty's a weird sound to have to make in terms of like continental Europeans, which is most of the people I work with. Yeah, so my username is Kirsty Lulu Mitchell. Lulu being because I was born in the 80s, so my parents gave me the middle name Louise, and there's a really talented photographer from New Zealand, or rather really popular, and yeah, talented. I'm not gonna say she's not. Um, Commercial photographer from New Zealand, and so I didn't want to muscle in on her territory and nick the name because I'm not that talented, and I'm not that commercial. And it's a real pisser if there's ever any kind of confusion. Like, you don't want her fans, the gala darling 12-year-olds of this world, kind of stumbling on my self-deprecating bullshit and thinking she wrote it. That's not fair on her to do. So, yeah, the Lulu stays. The Lulu is all mine. Right, thanks for the shit middle name, mum and dad. thanks for that. Where I'm from. I was born in Chatham in Kent, which is a crap area of England. Lowest literacy rate in the UK, I've been wondering. Like, we beat Glasgow. So, suck on that, like, usual, like, yes, referendum statistics. Have that. Um, but yeah, I was born there, have no connection to there. Grew up in the Midlands, no connection to there really either. Didn't really like it there, if I'm honest. I go back there now because that's where my mum lives. But I don't know, my heart is in North London, which is where I currently live. Because that's where she's originally from. She's from an Irish family. And then my dad's from New Zealand. So I've got like two passports. So I don't really know where I'm from. I don't really know what to say. I don't think about where I'm from so much anymore, apart from in writing. But I do think about it in terms of where I'm going. Yeah, where I'm from is something that's kind of for me only. Where I am and where I'm going, anyone else can participate in, but where I'm from kind of belongs to me. Anyway, back to accents. Back to accents. Oh yeah, and just to clarify, obviously I'm English. And so for the purpose of this exercise, my accent is Southern English, I believe people would say. Tinges of London, particularly the nasal tinges, but also tinges of rural areas. Listen when I say like love or money or something. It's a U sound instead of whatever the fuck sound people from London think they make. I don't know, an A sound? Like read Martin Amis. Let him tell you. Anyway, so the words, easy. This is the easiest bit. After the words, by the way, I'm gonna have some of my wine. I've had a shit day. So I'm drinking wine. Anyway, the words that aren't. I don't want to say aunt. Say auntie. Like, anyone you like enough who's your aunt, you'd say auntie, wouldn't you? Right, that's what I think. Roof, root, theatre, iron, salmon. Everyone says salmon the same, don't they? That's a weird word to have in there, salmon. Caramel. I know I say that differently to a lot of people. English people do. It's part of our mission to pollute the world with crap French. Fire, water, New Orleans. That's probably not right. New Orleans. That's how I'd say it. Packing. Already been told that's weird. Both. Again, probably. Alabama. Lawyer. Coupon. Mayonnaise. Pajamas, which should be spelt with a Y, by the way, because it comes from Hindi, the same as bungalow and dungarees and things like that. I learned that in English language at school. So yeah, pajamas shouldn't be an A at all. Pajamas. Court, naturally. Aluminium, because there's an I before the U. Aluminium. I'll sit on that one for another second. Do you know what this one? GIF. It's pronounced GIF. Like, there's no grammatical or, like, vernacular precedent for that G not to be hard. So when the creator came out and was like, oh yeah, it's pronounced GIF, it's like, well, you ain't even French, bro. Like, you can't even call that on the soft fucking consonant shit. It's a GIF. Soz. Tumblr, obviously. Like, I'm not Siri, so I'm not going to be like, Tumblr. It's called Tumblr. Same as like Flickr is Flickr. All they've done is take away an E. It's not that hard. Crackerjack. Well, that's not a word. Well, it's not a word that I care about. That's a brand name. That's like if I wrote this test and put it all over the world and decided I'd want everyone to say Weetabix. Right? I think that's right. Like, that's a brand name of a thing you get in America. What else? Doorknob. Is there anywhere in the world where they say doorknob differently? Right, provided they've been given the appropriate English pronunciation lessons. No, everyone says doorknob. Envelope. That's how I say it. Which actually is an interesting way to dispute any rumours that have come about in England, which they have, believe it or not. But I'm posh, because posh people say envelope. My grandmother always said envelope. It's kind of 70s aspirational middle class to do that, to like try and speak properly. But no, envelope. It's envelope. E-N-N, envelope. And then the last one is D-P-O-Y. There is no way to say DPOY out loud, which is why it got replaced with selfie. No one DPOYs anymore. We all selfie. Like, a new app came along and smashed DPOY. Get over DPOY. It's done. Anyway, like I said, probably going to grab some of that wine. Look at me, being badass, drinking in public. Wow. Whoa. As you can see from the uncurtained open windows behind me, all of North London can see me, and they're suitably appalled. Anyway, accent challenge. Back to this shit. What is it called when you, cover a house in toilet paper? That doesn't happen in England. Well, it didn't used to happen in England. Until Halloween became, like, a bigger thing. Because of, like, Nickelodeon and shit being mainstream. It's called nothing in England. I don't know. It's called, I don't know, whatever the local constabulary can write it off as a hijinks, I guess. Like, we haven't really come up with any phrases for youthful vandalism since Enid Blyton popped their clogs. And I just said pop their clogs. It didn't really help. Um, but yeah, no, we'd call it TPing because we got it from you, America. We didn't think to do that until you. We had our own way of pranking each other. That one's all yours. What is a bubbly carbonated drink called? Okay, a fizzy drink or a soft drink in England. Fizzy drink or soft drink. In industry terms, on the till, it's called a mineral. If your nan asks you, it's called pop. Pop is like way 70s. I don't know what happened to pop, but it's a class thing as well, I think, and a regional thing too. Because I know people that have really strong regional accents in England that do still say pop. But no pop. No, it's a fizzy drink or a soft drink. Like, because if you say to someone what soft drinks have you got, they'll just naturally list all the things they have that don't have alcohol. So like milk, orange juice, Coke, lemonade. In England, we're not really asked as long as the distinction is has it got alcohol in it. Like you say soft drink, you do, and then you don't say hard drink. You just say drink for the rest of it. Um, what's the bug that when you touch it curls into a ball? It's a woodlice. The plural is woodlice. That's it. Because they hide under wood and they're lice. What do you say to address a group of people? It depends entirely on the group of people. Again, back to my malleable Mongol accent, and also the fact that I have to deal socially with very different groups of people all the time. So, I mean, generically, you'd say hi, hiya, like informally, like I will let rip a massive hiya to whoever. Um, you're right is another good English one. You're right, and someone goes, hey, alright, you alright, and you just go, yeah, I'm alright, and that's it. You're right. That's it. That's classic English, like all over the country. Um, but also I'll say things like "I'll do" and "oi oi" to my mates, which are borrowed from regional dialects. I'm fascinated with language patterns, so I nick stuff wherever I see fit to put my big fat tongue. Now then, but yeah, if I like, I mean, if I was public speaking in front of a large group of people, it'd be like, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen." But you know, like I said, it varies. Um, be a wizard or a vampire. I'll be a wizard. Although if I'm female, that means I get to be a witch, which is my dream anyway. And also, like, who wants to give up going out in daylight? I don't. Like, sometimes I have to go to the bank. I'm sure even wizards and vampires have to go to the bank. I don't know how vampires go to the bank. Maybe they have wizard rooms. How old am I? 26. Gonna be 27 this year. Disgusting. Getting near a 30th time. Is it cold where I am? Cold enough. Thanks for asking. What is my favourite colour? Yellow. Had a lecturer say to me that only the true and MBA wear yellow. While I was wearing a yellow dress, and if he was borrowing my book to give the lecture, that's a long story. Um, but yeah, ever since yellow, I've always owned lots of like garish clothes and stuff. And yellow's colour that not many people are brave enough to wear, and I'm brave enough to wear it. And since he said that to me, it just makes me happy to see it. So I'm probably one of the few adults in the world that have a legitimate reason for favorite colour. I think that's why I get on well with kids, because kids are always really strongly convicted about their favourite colour, and adults are just like, blue or red. It's always blue or red, whatever. Like yellow, yeah, man. And kids never say yellow either, so they always wonder why I do. Get to tell them stories. I don't know. What's the next one? I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, you know. Absolute dog shit. It'd be interesting to listen back to it anyway. Nice to pretend to talk to someone for a bit. So the next one. The next one. When is my no? What colour are my eyes? Brown. Straight brown. There's nothing exciting to say about brown eyes. Van Morrison already owned that. When is my birthday? March. I'm gonna be 27. I was already sort of unhappy about 26, to be honest. It's like the downward spiral to 30. And now 27 is happening to me. I'm not cool about thinking about my birthday. I never am. That's why nothing ever happens on my birthday. Because the year starts and I'm already like, well, last year was shit. So I don't want it to be anything like next year. So I'm gonna do things to make sure that it's not like last year. And then by the time I'm finished doing those things and making sure that it's not like last year, then my birthday comes around and I'm like, well, I didn't invite you. When did you get here? So yeah, last year I was